In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go stop and say hello. You know, you're not supposed to have regrets in life, are you? But if there's one thing I could tweak, is that I'd really like to be able to sing McCartney songs as McCartney sang them. I've always maintained his voice is really his instrument, and he wrote very much to showcase his voice. It's all just a little bit too high for me. That's why we're in a slightly funny key here. We're in the key of B, which obviously works for him. I've got a capo on the 2nd fret, so we're going to play as if in A, at least to begin with. The verse is in A. We kick off the song with 2 verses. Then we switch to a chorus. We're going to go down to G for the chorus, and then back up for another couple of verses, a chorus, 2 more verses, a chorus, and then a final chorus repeats a tone higher in the key of the verse, in fact. But look, there's nothing much very difficult to get under our fingers here. So let's crack on and carve out the chords for that verse. Yeah, so a pretty straightforward verse. We've got a bar of A, 2 beats of B minor 7, and then I've got E7. I'm going to get my E7 in position, including that first finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, but just for the first beat, I've also got my 3rd finger there on the 2nd fret of that string, and then that falls to straight E7. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs. For the A, whether you finger this like this, individual strings, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, or 2nd, 3rd and 4th, or maybe just bar across, it doesn't really matter. I'd probably, if I wasn't thinking too hard about it, just bar across the top 4 strings at the 2nd fret. Because my strumming is a kind of a chop motion like this, and I'm going to bring the palm, the heel of the palm, right down onto the strings there to deaden the sound. I'm probably going to limit the scope of my strumming so that I avoid hitting the top string. You don't really hear any difference. If you did happen to touch that string there, well, it really isn't the end of the world. You've got an A6, that's all fine. When you're strumming then, you're going to hear a little bit of upstrum. And it wants to be beyond the halfway point. We're not strumming down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, but down, up, down, up, down, up, down, because we're swinging these beats. Like that. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know. We carry on then with another bar of A and a bar of A minor 7. Now we're going to keep that A minor shape, and I'm going to put a finger down there. I've got to refinger the whole thing, but I've got a finger now on the 2nd fret of the bottom string for A minor over F sharp, or F sharp half diminished. And the people that come and go. And again I've got to refinger it. Again I've got this A minor shape, but now with an F at the bottom, making F major 7. I've got my 1st finger there on the bottom string at the 1st fret. And we finish off with another E7 sus4 for 2 beats to E7. And that bar just repeats, and that's the whole of the 1st verse. So let me sing that for you. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go stop and say hello. Next verse is exactly the same. On the corner is a banker with a motor car. The little children laugh at him behind his back, and the banker never wears a mask in the pouring rain. But now, very strange, and we're into Penny Lane. We're into the chorus. So the 2nd verse of each pair, we've got 3 pairs of verses. The 2nd one has a bar of D that sets us up then for the chorus. Otherwise, those verses are identical. Now, just before we look at the chorus, there's one little detail at the beginning of the verse. McCartney's bass does this. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing, and I'd like to get that bass line. So in my strumming, just in this first bar, I'm going to hit the 5th string, hopefully, at the start of my strum. Then I'm going to bring my little finger onto the 4th fret of the bottom string. That's a G sharp. Then I've got an F sharp on the 2nd fret and then an E on the open bottom string. And I can kind of sustain enough of the original chord to keep that going underneath the bass, hopefully. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know. We can do that in the 3rd bar as well. Okay, well that's just a little detail that gives us something more of the original. Alright, let's look at that chorus. Now the chorus is even more straightforward. You've got G for a bar, and then G again, but this time hopefully missing out the bottom string. If you can bring out the 5th string with that B, even better. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. 2 bars of C. And if you wanted to, that note on the top string that you had for the G and G over B, you could keep that on there. My little finger's on the 3rd fret of the top string. That's a legitimate note in C. That just gives us a bit of continuity here. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. And that just repeats. There beneath the blue suburban skies, I sit at E7 this time. Meanwhile back in Penny Lane. And we're into the 3rd verse. The 3rd verse gives way to the 4th verse, which is instrumental. We have that piccolo trumpet solo there. Another chorus, verses 5 and 6, and then a final chorus in G, exactly the same. And the final chorus then goes up to A. So let's look at that now. So yeah, the 3rd chorus ends on E7, just as they all do. Normally that would take us back to the verse in A, but this time the E7 takes us to a final chorus in A, and it really is too high for me to sing. Penny Lane, that's A. G over B becomes A over C sharp, so I am going to bar that with my little finger on the 4th fret of the 5th string. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. The C becomes D for 2 bars, and that repeats. There beneath the blue suburban skies. And this time we just end Penny Lane on a big old chord of A, and that is the end of the song. Okay, that's everything I've got. I'm ready to have a playthrough, and then I'll let my little backing track run on its own at the end so you can sing it or play it your way. I've got my music for sale. Obviously my sheet music is up, should reflect absolutely the original recording and of course what we've covered here. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one. 1, 2, 3. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs. Every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go stop and say hello. On the corner is a banker with a motor car. The little children laugh at him behind his back, and the banker never wears a mask. In the pouring rain, very strange, Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies, I sit, and meanwhile back in Penny Lane there is a fireman with an hourglass, and in his pocket is a portrait of the Queen, and he likes to keep his engine clean. It's a clean machine. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. Full of fish and finger pies in summer. Meanwhile back behind the shelter in the middle of the roundabout, the pretty nurse is selling poppers from a tray, and though she feels as if she's in a triplet, she is anyway. In Penny Lane the barber the customer. We see the banker sitting waiting for a trim, and then the fireman rushes in from the pouring rain. Very strange. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies, I sit and meanwhile the Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies, Penny Lane. That's more or less it. Sorry, Paul.